College spending is on the rise, yet barely half of American families have a plan for how to pay for the cost of a four-year degree. Senior personal finance correspondent Sharon Epperson joins us now with more. Fraught with everything surrounding paying for it. Maybe you don't need a way to pay for it.
Well, you do for many people, because the average sticker price for college has been rising, but most families, thankfully, don't pay the full price. Tuition, fees, room and board averaged around $23,000 at a four-year in-state public university for the 2022-23 school year. That's according to the College Board. Going out of state cost almost double that price, more than $40,000. And a private college averaged $53,000. Now, that doesn't even include books, transportation, and other expenses. At some private universities, the total cost of college is now more than $80,000 a year. Yet a new report from Sallie Mae finds the amount families actually spent on college education costs last year was about $28,000 on average, up 11% from the year before. Now, families took out loans or borrowed money to cover about 21% of the costs. About 29% of college costs were covered by scholarships and grants. Meanwhile, students' and parents' income and savings covered about half of that. Tapping 529 college savings plans, leveraging private scholarships, and appealing for more financial aid if needed are some of the ways that can help families pay for college costs.
All right, I'm going to ask you these questions, but then I want to get back to the other thing, because it really is, in today's world, knowing what finally happens with college loans, and because the president's still not done trying to get around some of the things preventing him from doing that. And I would be mad if I did all the things you're telling me right now to do and cut back, and then suddenly everything was forgiven. That's why it's such a controversial issue, and it's vote buying at best too. And so
but I think when you look at what has been forgiven so far, and the people now that have been working in the public sector for 20 years, and they're seeing, we've been paying. As one person told me, I've been paying every year on my loans. I'm now getting my PhD, but I just got a letter in the mail that said $50,000 of my loans is now going to be forgiven because I've been doing this public sector work, working for nonprofits, working in that area. So that, I think, because they've not gotten the return on investment from the high cost of college in these types of jobs, that absolutely is making sense for these people.
That's kind of that's a very specific way of doing it. Why is the rap that it's working people are paying for people's advanced degrees? You've heard that.
Well, I've heard that before, but I think everyone needs to really take a look at, again, the return on investment, the amount of money that we're talking about that people are spending on education, and the type of jobs that they're going to get afterward. And understanding that as you're going through school, if you drop a class or you decide you're going to not finish right then and you've taken out these loans, you still owe that money. So the sticking with it and making sure that you get a job that makes sense is very important. The other thing is there are some lower cost ways and even some free ways to get your education, whether that's getting help from an employer, whether that is making sure that you're looking at programs, a lot of nonprofit programs and for-profit programs that are looking at ways to help fund education that's not a college degree, but gives you the skills that you need to work as a software engineer or other things like that.
We have to match skill sets with
exactly.
I said I was going to ask you the question, Jess, and then I didn't ask it, but do a lot of people use 529?
Well, we talk about them all the time, and what I found was interesting in the Sallie Mae report is only 30% of people are actually using 529 plans to pay for college, and the average amount is a little bit around $8,000 or so, but they're not taking full advantage of them and not realizing that they're not just for college. You can use, up to $10,000 for K through 12 private education. You can use it for homeschooling. You can use it for apprenticeships, vocational and trade schools. So there's so many different ways to use it. And starting next year, if you don't use all your 529 plan money, you can roll that over into a Roth IRA. So now there are just a lot of different opportunities.
I didn't know any of that. Not surprising, but it's all useful. You didn't either, did you?
No, I knew that K through 12 and all that. I didn't know that you could roll it over if you don't use it.
Starting next year.
But I'm using it.
Right.
But there are some people who are super savers. I have talked to them. They're like, now I have enough for them to go to grad school, but they don't want to go. And I'm like,
good for them.
Oh my God.
Roth IRA.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.